Mighty Meteor is a special attack in Bowser's Inside Story that is given to you right before you head to Peach's castle. Getting an excellent rating with the attack will give you one of 4 items that you get to keep after the battle is over: an Ultra Mushroom, a 1-Up Deluxe, a Max Nut, or a Star Candy. So then, why did I just get a Supersyrup Jar? Every major source of information on this game, as of the time of recording, will tell you those same 4 items are the only ones you can get from the attack. And you could even test it out yourself by playing up until you receive the attack, and you'll find those same 4 items are the only ones you encounter. Plus, it's just a mid-attack anyway. It's completely optional and just has okay damage output. You'd play through a few times, gather enough data to write a wiki article, and call it a day. But that isn't quite good enough for me. You see, because I am extremely normal, I spend a not insignificant portion of my free time digging around in this game's code and data files just in case I find anything interesting. So one day, after being asked how the game determines what item to give you at the end of Mighty Meteor, I sprung into action and started digging around Mighty Meteor's code, and quickly discovered that it's a bit more complicated than I ever would have expected. The game seems to actually try and work out what items you deserve to receive, rather than just having one set of items to pull from. But how does the game actually figure that out? Well, it looks at each bro's current level and gives you different items depending on how high your level is. But the issue is, there's no way you'd ever reasonably reach the point in the game where you receive Mighty Meteor before the game starts giving you the best items anyway. So that's why we never knew about the other items. We're all just too good at the game. But then that begs the question, what are the other items? Now, the game takes an average of the bros' levels and rounds down, but assuming both bros are at the same levels at all times, the tables are as follows. From levels 1 to 6, you can get a mushroom, a 1-Up Mushroom, a Supersyrup Jar, and a Super Nut. From level 7 to 18, you can get a Super Mushroom, a 1-Up Mushroom, an Ultra Syrup Jar, or an Ultra Nut. And then from level 19 onward, you can get the familiar 4, an Ultra Mushroom, a 1-Up Deluxe, a Max Nut, or a Star Candy. And actually, at level 26, your odds of getting the better items increases. But hold on, you might have noticed that all of the levels I listed are levels after a rank up. And I didn't misspeak either, your item pool doesn't upgrade until the level after you reach the Shell rank, the Shine rank, and the Star rank. I'm honestly tempted to chalk this up to a mistake in the programming, and by the time bug testing started proper, it would have been far too late for anybody to even notice. As a quick side note, in Calendar Man's minimum kill challenge, he actually reaches Mighty Meteor at level 16, which is low enough to get the second tier items. But obviously this is no easy feat. It's most likely not even possible to see the lowest tier items in vanilla gameplay, though I would love to be proven wrong in that. Don't forget the game takes an average of your levels, so Mario at level 12 and Luigi at level 1 would still produce lowest tier items, and if you intentionally KO Luigi before each battle ends, he could theoretically stay at level 1 for quite a while. Though there is a mandatory 400 experience in Dimplewood later on, and keeping Mario at level 1 also has its issues. So for now, I think it's safe to say we're stuck with save editing. So that's it, right? We figured out the real item pool, why everybody got it wrong, and how you can theoretically see the rest of the items. So why is the video not even halfway over? And what's that 3DS-shaped elephant doing in this room? Oh no. Oh no, 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 no! Yes, that's right, we still have to go over what the remake does. After I figured out how the original game decides the item you get, Spencer PK in the MNL Modding Discord server decided to see if this also applied to the remake. After running tests using the demo, which now shows you exactly what item is received, unlike in the original, he confirmed that the item pool was not affected by player level. He ran some extended tests, documented some numbers, and I gave a quick footnote in the first draft of the script shouting him out. I then sent him the draft to look it over, and then disaster struck. While trying out some more things with Mighty Meteor, he accidentally uncovered an even more in-depth reward system than in the original game. Strap in, ladies and gentlemen, we're just getting started. In order to understand how the new item system works, we'll need to go over the mechanics of the attack itself. In the original game, the meteor falls 5 times, and you need to charge up your hammer before hitting the meteor back at enemies to do as much damage as possible. After you start holding the button, the brother holds up his hammer, and after a moment, it flashes twice depending on how long you hold the button. The longer you charge, the more damage you deal. In the remake, however, the meteor only falls 4 times. Additionally, the hammer flashes immediately after you start holding the button. This means there are only 2 charge levels for each hammer swing, making the system much simpler. Just kidding, now there's an additional counter to worry about. Each time you hit the meteor while your hammer is at maximum charge, this counter goes up by 1. Then, once the meteor breaks open, the game uses that counter to determine the quality of the item you receive. The more max charge hits you get, the better the item. That means there are 5 entirely unique item tables the game can pull from at the end of the attack. Finding the item tables themselves was a bit more involved this time around. In the original game, special attack sequences are written in ARM code. There is a custom battle scripting language that the game uses for enemies, but for the player's attacks, they're just regular old code. So I was able to use Ghidra, and a lot of patience, to show me more or less what the original C++ code was doing. For the remake, however, player attacks do use the custom battle scripting language, which I was really disappointed to see since deciphering it is really tedious. After quite a bit of headache, I managed to extract the script atk pc sp ml meteo.bai, and I found 5 tables with valid item IDs and what looked to be associated percentage values. All of the values add up to 100 in every table, and all of the item IDs match Spencer's tests, so I'm extremely confident in saying that this is the correct data. There's a lot of data to go over here, but for the sake of getting all the information out there, we'll do a bit of a lightning round. For Tier 1, you can get a mushroom, a syrup jar, a super mushroom, a refreshing herb, a nut, or a 1-up mushroom. For Tier 2, you can get a mushroom, a syrup jar, a super mushroom, a supersyrup jar, an ultra mushroom, a nut, a super nut, a 1-up mushroom, or a refreshing herb. For Tier 3, you can get a mushroom, a syrup jar, a super mushroom, a super syrup jar, an ultra mushroom, an ultra syrup jar, a nut, a super nut, a 1-up mushroom, a 1-up deluxe, or a refreshing herb. For Tier 4, you can get a super mushroom, a super syrup jar, an ultra mushroom, an ultra syrup jar, a max mushroom, a max syrup jar, a super nut, an ultra nut, or a 1-up mushroom. And then for the highest tier, you can get an ultra mushroom, an ultra syrup jar, a max mushroom, a max syrup jar, an ultra nut, a max nut, a star candy, a 1-up deluxe, or a refreshing herb. Woof! This is a frankly absurd level of effort to put into something most people will likely never encounter. It's also shockingly comprehensive, featuring every single tier of mushroom, syrup, nut, and 1-up, as well as the star candy and refreshing herb. Oh, and all of these items are the same when you play Mighty Meteor in easy mode as well. Although, one small quirk that I want to point out is that the 4th tier is suspiciously missing the refreshing herb. There's no significance to this, and I can guarantee you that you wouldn't notice it in vanilla gameplay, but I noticed it, and I thought it was kind of funny, so now you get to notice it too. Mighty Meteor's story is a bit sad, isn't it? An attack with a core mechanic that was so poorly conveyed that nobody was able to truly explore its intricacies for over a decade and a half. And when the programmers finally fleshed out said mechanic in the remake, it was still so poorly conveyed that people continued to just never notice. It's so neglected that some sources even get the item's requirements wrong. Back at the beginning of the video, I mentioned that getting an excellent rating for the attack is needed to get an item. But check this out. You don't even need to get an excellent rating. If the enemy dies before the attack finishes, which is only possible in the original game, you just get the item right away. This is bordering on pedantic, but it's kind of a testament to how little this attack is understood. Well, I think Mighty Meteor deserves so much more than that. So next time you're fighting Junker, give the jump helmet a rest, and make a wish on the true shooting star in your arsenal. Just make sure to actually collect it first. Wait, what do you mean that joke doesn't work? People think it's a mandatory special attack? But I've already written the joke, I can't just... Hey, thank you for making it to the end of the video. Thank you once again to Spencer PK for helping out with research and generally just inspiring me to look into the remake. There's a lot of really interesting stuff under the hood, and before all this happened I had extremely little interest in taking a look at it. Also, let me know if you enjoyed this new video style by leaving a like and subscribing. Full credits in the description below, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.